Congratulations on winning the election. You are now officially the most powerful human being on the face of the earth. You control a military budget that could comfortably purchase a small solar system. And yet, you are currently staring at a leaking faucet in your private bathroom that you are legally not allowed to fix yourself. Welcome to the ultimate paradox of global leadership. The campaign trail was full of cheering crowds and epic music. Now the music has stopped, and you are left with the crushing reality of your new living. Arrangements. Your new home is a historic mansion that doubles as a highly secure fishbowl. The alarm goes off at 5 in the morning. You do not get to hit the snooze button because the person waking you up has a security clearance higher than your local governor. Your bedroom is filled with priceless antique furniture. This mostly just means the bed creaks in a way that sounds extremely expensive. You cannot just wander down to the kitchen in your underwear to pour a bowl of sugary cereal. There are currently 75 heavily armed professionals standing outside your door. At least 3 of them have master's degrees in analyzing the emotional stability of foreign dictators. If you try to open a window in the morning because the room feels a little stuffy, you will cause an immediate national security incident. 4 men in dark sunglasses will materialize from the curtains to tackle you for your own protection. The windows are made of multi-layered ballistic glass designed to stop a rocket-propelled grenade. They do not roll down. You are essentially living inside a very beautiful luxury prison with an excellent lawn. Before you can even get a cup of coffee, you are handed the presidential daily briefing. This is not a casual summary of the morning news. It is a highly personalized horror anthology detailing every single thing that is going wrong on planet Earth. A quiet intelligence analyst who looks like they haven't slept since the 90s will hand you a leather binder. Inside, you will find top-secret satellite photos of suspicious dirt piles in countries you could not find on a map last week. You will read about rogue submarines doing weird things to fiber optic cables at the bottom of the ocean. You will learn that a foreign intelligence agency is attempting to hack into your nation's electrical grid using a compromised smart refrigerator in Ohio. It is exactly like receiving a 70-page notification feed of the absolute worst tweets on Earth. Except every single tweet has a nuclear budget and a standing army. You have to absorb all of this information while trying not to spill coffee on your tie. Knowing that the world might end before lunchtime is completely free. But staying in the house where you read about it is going to cost you a fortune. This is the first major scam of the presidency. Most citizens assume the leader of a superpower lives for free in their giant white mansion. They assume the government picks up the tab for thee, world-class chefs, and the endless supply of snacks. The reality is that the first family receives a highly detailed, itemized invoice at the end of every single month. You are billed for every single egg, every single piece of fruit, and every single sheet of toilet paper consumed by your family. The chefs in the kitchen are world-class culinary artists. That sounds amazing until you realize their standard breakfast recipe involves ingredients that cost more than your first car. You will find yourself negotiating a multi-billion-dollar international trade agreement while secretly wondering if you can afford to order the premium snack mix for the afternoon meeting. If your kid wants a late-night grilled cheese sandwich, the ingredients are tracked and billed to your personal bank account at high-end market rates. Your dry cleaning bill alone could cover the rent on a very nice 2-bedroom apartment in Chicago. You are paid a solid salary of $400,000 a year. But by the time you pay for the institutional catering fees and the state-level grocery markups, you are basically living paycheck to paycheck like a highly stressed corporate middle manager. After breakfast, you finally make your way down to the Oval Office. This is the room where history happens. The desk in the center of the room is the Resolute desk. It was constructed from the timber of a 19th century British Arctic exploration ship. It is a majestic piece of history that has been touched by some of the most influential leaders in human existence. It also features a very specific secret feature that reveals the true nature of modern power. On the desk sits a small wooden box with a single red button. For decades, conspiracy theorists believed this button could instantly launch a barrage of intercontinental ballistic missiles. They believed one press would initiate the total annihilation of the Eastern Hemisphere. In reality, the button just tells a very polite valet in a crisp military uniform to bring you a cold diet soda. You can command a fleet of aircraft carriers to move across the Pacific Ocean with a single signature. But if you want a carbonated beverage, you have to rely on a tiny wooden box, like a person ringing for room service at a mediocre hotel. The Oval Office is beautiful, but it is also a room where privacy goes to die. You are never truly alone. If you decide to lean back in your chair and take a 20-minute nap, your medical team will immediately monitor your heart rate from a basement 3 levels below you. If you get frustrated and mutter a curse word under your breath, an aide will appear within 30 seconds to hand you a lozenge. The sheer volume of people required to keep you alive and functioning is staggering. You have a personal calligrapher whose entire job is to write invitations in a fancy font. You have a personal clockwinder who ensures the antique timepieces in the building do not lose a single second. You have an army of assistants whose only responsibility is to make sure you look like you know what you are doing at all times. But all of these people cannot solve the most frustrating rule of your new life. You are strictly banned from driving a car. The United States Secret Service takes many things very seriously, but your driving habits are at the top of the list. From the moment you take the oath of office, you are legally prohibited from operating a motor vehicle on a public road. It does not matter if you are a certified car enthusiast who loves the smell of gasoline. It does not matter if you just want to drive a 2012 Honda Civic to a fast food drive-thru at midnight. The security team will simply look at you with total deadpan expressions and take your keys away. The last time a sitting president drove on an open public road was decades ago. If you want to experience the thrill of the open road, you are limited to driving a golf cart around a heavily fortified country club surrounded by sniper teams. Your days of enjoying a casual weekend cruise with the windows down are officially over. Instead of driving, you are forced to ride in the Beast. The Beast is the official presidential limousine. It looks like a luxury sedan from the outside, but that is a complete optical illusion. It is actually a massive armored personnel carrier disguised as a high-end vehicle. The doors are 8 inches thick, which is exactly the same thickness as the cabin door of a commercial jetliner. When the doors slam shut, the sound is completely dead. You are instantly cut off from the rest of the world in a silent vacuum of high-tech paranoia. The windows are 5 inches thick and can stop a direct hit from a .50 caliber bullet. They do not roll down at all, except for the driver's window, so the security team can hand badges to checkpoint guards. The interior of the vehicle is completely sealed against chemical and biological attacks. It features its own dedicated oxygen supply and an environmental control system that can survive a literal war zone. The chassis of the car is reinforced with steel plates to protect against roadside bombs. The tires are reinforced with Kevlar and can keep running, even if they are blown completely off the wheels. But the most disturbing feature of the Beast lives in the trunk. Inside the trunk is a secure refrigerator containing multiple bags of blood that perfectly match your exact blood type. The security team is fully prepared to give you a complete blood transfusion on the side of the highway while under active enemy fire. You are riding around in a 20,000-pound rolling fortress just to go give a 5-minute speech at a community college in Ohio. The sheer scale of the preparation makes every single trip feel like an invasion. When you travel, the motorcade can easily include up to 40 vehicles. There are counter-assault teams with automatic weapons. There are communications vehicles with satellite dishes that look like they belong in a sci-fi movie. There is a dedicated ambulance that follows you everywhere. There are even local police officers blocking off every single intersection for miles ahead of you. You can look out the 5-inch glass window and see normal citizens standing on the sidewalk waiting for the light to change. They are holding grocery bags and looking at their phones. They are living their normal, regular lives. You are sitting inside a rolling bank vault, surrounded by your own blood supply. The contrast will make you feel completely disconnected from the species you are supposed to be leading. And the traveling circus does not stop when you reach the airport. You get to fly on Air Force One. Air Force One is not just a plane. It is a 3-story flying white house that can be refueled in midair. It features a complete medical operating room, a private office for the president, and enough communication equipment to launch a global war from 40,000 feet. The galley can feed up to 100 people at a time. The plane is designed to survive the electromagnetic pulse of a nuclear explosion. It is the ultimate symbol of global status and prestige. But even at 40,000 feet, you cannot escape the single heaviest object in the world. Wherever you go, a military aide follows you closely. This aide is always dressed in a pristine uniform, and they're always carrying a black leather briefcase. The briefcase is officially known as the President's Emergency Satchel. The rest of the world knows it simply as the nuclear football. Inside this briefcase is not a giant red launch button. Instead, it contains a collection of black binders, outlining every single option for nuclear retaliation. It also contains a secure communication system designed to connect you instantly with the Pentagon. To use the football, you must carry a small plastic card known as the biscuit. The biscuit contains the unique identification codes that prove you are actually the president. You are required to keep this card on your person at all times. It must be in your pocket when you are sitting in a meeting with foreign heads of state. It must be nearby when you are trying to sleep. It is the ultimate reminder that you are never more than 10 seconds away from an existential crisis. Imagine trying to enjoy a slice of cake at your niece's birthday party while a man carrying the power to end human civilization stands awkwardly next to the snack table. Multiple presidents have struggled with the sheer absurdity of this responsibility. One president accidentally left the biscuit in his suit pocket when it was sent to the dry cleaners. Another president had the codes confiscated by hospital staff when his clothes were cut off during an emergency medical procedure. The system is designed to be flawless, but it is still operated by regular, fragile human beings who sometimes just want to change into comfortable sweatpants at the end of the day. The pressure of this reality does something physical to the human body. You can see it happen in real time if you look at historical photographs. Look at any leader on the day of their inauguration. They look vibrant, healthy, and full of youthful optimism. Their hair is dark and their skin is smooth. Now look at the same person on the day they leave office, 4 or 8 years later. They look like a haunted wizard who survived an encounter with an ancient curse. Their hair has turned completely white. Their face is lined with deep wrinkles that look like a topographical map of a mountain range. They look like they have aged 25 years in the span of a single presidential term. The human brain was simply not designed to carry the weight of 300 million lives, while simultaneously worrying about global market fluctuations and domestic political drama. Eventually, the gray hair wins, and your time in the spotlight comes to an end. The transition back to regular life is a notoriously jarring experience. One day, you are walking into rooms while a military band plays a specific anthem dedicated entirely to your presence. The next day, you are standing in a normal grocery store in your hometown, trying to figure out how a self-checkout machine works. You haven't handled physical cash in 8 years. You haven't seen a modern barcode scanner since the previous decade. The Secret Service will still follow you for the rest of your life, but the absolute authority is gone. You are handed back your regular life and expected to blend in with the rest of society. You will sit on your porch and look out at the world you used to control. You will realize that the world is still spinning and the problems are still there. You will realize that you were just a temporary custodian of a very heavy desk. And if you ever get thirsty while sitting on that porch, you will look down at your side table. You will realize there is no small wooden box with a red button anymore. If you want a cold diet soda, you are going to have to get up and walk to the kitchen yourself. So what about you? If you were given the keys to the most powerful office on earth, Would you spend your time rewriting history, or would you just be checking the monthly grocery bill with a calculator? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this look behind the ballistic glass. Until next time, try not to open any windows.